Yeah. So there's a gap, right? There's a dental knowledge gap that you see in the industry, and you're trying to fill that. Where, what are the biggest glaring holes that you're seeing on the bigger level? If you're consulting with bigger firms, or DSOs, I should say, what gaps are you seeing in the normal HR model for dental?
Normally, it falls into categories of paying people benefits. That tends to be problematic. And then there's just this huge gap of people thinking things are legal when they're not, or thinking things are not legal that are, and they just don't know, or they don't understand certain terms. For example, one that's recently come up in some of the Facebook groups are the terms at will and right to work, which don't mean what people think they mean. I'll hear a practice owner say, oh, these people are at will, my team's at will, and so I can do whatever I want. Yeah, that's not really true. Or somebody says, well, this is a right to work state. Yeah, but that has something to do with unions and nothing to do with whatever they're talking about for the most part.
Yeah.
So just a lot of misinformation out there.
So give me some of the, I know you gave me a couple of those, but could you give me some examples of like where, and they don't have to be real, but just some things that you're seeing, that walking through those examples, what happens when you're misrepresenting that information?
Well, if you seem to think that you actually can do whatever you want and you terminate somebody and it's for them having a disability or for a discriminatory reason, you can end up with a suit from the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, to come in. If you're thinking that you can pay people exempt versus non-exempt, for example, thinking you can pay them salary when they're not actually qualified to be an exempt employee, and you're not paying overtime and you're not clocking their time, and you get audited by the Department of Labor in Texas, that can be a problem. TWC can come in and audit. That can be a problem. If you're misclassifying associates as 1099 contractors when they should be W-2, you can get a misclassification audit by the IRS at random or reported, depending on how it goes. And all of these things I have had happen to clients.
Got it. And what you said in Texas. So one of the, we're a virtual company, SMC is, and we have all these different laws in different states. And so we have to do this over here and this over here, and really think about each state. How are DSOs navigating that space? Have you had some experience with that?
Hopefully they have somebody in legal that is familiar with the states that they're operating in, because not only are you going to have different rules as far as paying them, who has a state tax withholding, or potentially contractor rules can vary from state to state. But then also there's a lot of even local laws in some states in terms of sick leave or paid time off, in terms of whether or not you can conduct background checks, at what point in the hiring process you can conduct background checks, things like that you really need to have somebody who knows what they're doing, because HR is a lot more than just payroll. You're not just running payrolls. You're not just administering benefits or writing people up. You really need to pay attention to what you're required to do on your state and local levels, as well as at the federal level.